Hello guys, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of TruZone podcast. My name is Alex Kimena. I hope you had a wonderful week so far. And by now you know that this is a platform where we get to discuss some of the issues affecting our society in a more, tunasamanga in a more free way. Kuna wadi kama free?
Hakuna kitu kama free.
In a more open way. I thought to be the one open way. And so far we are happy. Tumeweza kuongea na watu wazito watu wapoa poa. And today we are blessed to have the first, tunasemaje Oscar? Tumuite first lady wa podcast. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Mugeci Githaiga.
Asante Alex.
Watu wanajuanga jina yako Mugeci ni Mugeci.
Ni Mugeci. Kini sijui kwa nini watu wengi.
Okay.
Sijui kama mimi ndio muwenga ama watu ndio.
Watu wengi. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Tumejuana nawe for 10 years now. Nilikuwa nimekaa jana usiku nikafikiria nilijua Mugeci ni nikakumbuka ilikuwa Dulos 2010.
You nearly 30.
I'm actually turning 30. Yeah, so last time ndio niliambia na hiyo maneno mengine tunaenda aje nikamwambia very soon. Kwanza hii pandemic imefanya mambo iko na the good side of it. Imefanya mambo isiwe rahisi kiasi, but we thank God. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Jana ulinitext kitu kingine nikacheka sana nikikwambia that nataka ukam tuonge story ya singlehood.
Nikasema.
Ukaniambia ati am I becoming the poster girl of singlehood? Hata siku reply nili reply na nini na smile ya kucheka.
Clearly.
Mbona unafeel kama
clearly when you called for, as in you've done several videos, so ukishafanya several videos, kila mtu anakucall anakuambia come and talk to us about purity, come and talk to us about singleness. Najua mara kadhaa inafika place unaanza kujiuliza kwa nini nimekuwa poster girl.
Ala nilishinda kujibu.
I think
was ile kuna shida kuambia pole ama
no, imagine. I thank God. I really do thank God. Sababu I think there's a lot kama singekuwa single at my age, singejua. And just to put it out there, I'm 37 and I'm single. And it has not been easy, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Ni jana naongea na beshte yangu fulani kwa namshow. Kuna maujinga Mungu ameniondolea. Ningekuwa married at 25. Tungekosana tu na kijana wenyewe. Alafu labda kwa divorced, alafu looking back at things unaona ilikuwa story ya ujinga sana. Una get. But right now I don't know. I don't know. I just wish people knew how it's a gift. It's a gift. Kuna time kunaongea na Holy Spirit. Tunachapa. Sasa zingine mchapanga tu story na God. Niko namwambia, I think at this point nimekam kujua marriage is not a level, but it's another level we are entering until you have achieved something. In the same way that marriage is like, it's like another different dynamic. So is singlehood, it's a different dynamic. But so many people have not learned how to live as singles. Wasa wengi wajaikaa chini waishi as in I am single and I know I'm single and I'm living as a single person. Most people are living in an expectation of I am going to get married. But people have never gotten to the place of even if I don't get married at 40, at 50, at 60, imagine God, I'm okay with it and I'm going to live my life and I'm going to do what you've called me to do. Very few people. So everyone is living with an expectation. And you know, sazingine ukilive na hiyo expectation, inakuwa very hard to enjoy the view. Najua ujibambe na wase. So for me, it's a gift. And it's the gift of singlehood. And that's what God allowed me experience. Even by the time I get into marriage, I'm like, Yeah.
Kuna kitu umesema nataka tugusie kiasi kwa nikipenda nimekuwa nikifikiria sana. Hiyo story ya achievement ya marriage kama achievement. Could it be one of the reasons as to why singlehood imekuwa ni kama watu wanachukulia ni kama a curse or a condition?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, is it our culture or is it according to you know?
I wouldn't say it's culture. So you see it all over the world.
Yeah.
It's all over the world.
Lakini unajua pia ukiangalia nje, ukiangalia nje at least kuna some soberness when it comes to the topic.
Like if I was in the States and I'm 37 and I'm single and I'm making my money and then, you know, watu hawezi kuwa ati wanakunini sana. But in our African society everyone is like, unangojea nini?
Yeah.
Ama wewe ni mchuzi, hata kwa mchuzi gosh. Unajua, as in utapata watoto lini, you know. And it really puts people down. And sometimes people watu wataingia kwa into relationships just to remove that single label. You know, that label of you're single. So someone enters a relationship, alafu ana get married kwa sababu ana feel niko 37, uchali amekam si chali mbaya. And it's my time to get out. Ama venye watu wanaambiwa toa jam.
Yeah. Hiyo ni statement naichukiana.
Acha nitoe jam. You know, but see, it's not about kutoa jam.
Yeah.
And this is the revelation God has given me. If I am ever going to get married to someone, that marriage, just like everything else we do, marriage is a ministry. And that ministry is to help this other person. Into your God. Is to help this other person get to heaven. And I think uki take that perspective, whatever this person does, whatever shortcomings this other person has, you put in the effort to pray for them, to love on them, to show them the same grace that God amekuonesha kwa life yako. Unaget? So I think those are some of the things that we need to learn when we are single. And it makes you get ready for marriage. You see it as a ministry. It's not another level. It's not something you have to achieve. It's a ministry. So najiuliza kama the same way I've seen you grow in ministry. As in, if I was to ask you to go in something else other than community outreach and, you know, nikwambia kuwa dancer. Unakuwa unafikiria wewe message obviously. I don't have that inside of me. But unajua, you give it that thought when you're going into that ministry, and we would give it the same thought. Am I called to this? Is it something that I feel I have the capacity to carry? You know, So in the same way, singleness is a responsibility. And that's why I'm saying it's a whole different dynamic. In the same way, marriage is a responsibility. In the same way, singleness is a whole different dynamic. Marriage is a whole different dynamic.
Kabisa. Ushaangusha wisdom hata tujaingia sana. Nataka tuongee story ya the waiting period. Hapa ndio kuna kuangana mambo mazee. Kuna swali singeweza kuuliza Dagi because tulikuwa na man to man talk. But at least you unaweza na position ya kujibu. Is it wise or good for a lady to initiate a relationship? Like when unaweza kumeka single sana usemeni aje? Uni Oscar. Na Oscar anakangani kama hii ndio hiyo mimi naona.
I don't think so. Kuna
pale specifically imeandikwa kwa scripture sipo.
No. Ni wisdom too. Initiate again, the question is initiate in what way? Una get kuna ile umekam unakatia chali, as in umekam unakatia chali, like really
saka chali amekaa hivyo saka chali amekaa tu na unaona niaje huyu akona the qualities that I want in a man. So unamsaidia nisaidie kubeba hizi nini pole pole tu mdogo nisifikishe inakaa kwa kitu unamwambia ni aje mimi bado nataka kukulaza chala kusema yes
okay for me let me tell you number one, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. For me, bottom line, I think that's a foundation. Now we build on that foundation. So if it's Belinda got on Oscar, and he was saying the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and later Eve. Lakini I think Adam alikuwa melala. You see, and alinid kuamka, ndio venye aliamka, it's like a veil will fall off his eyes. Akasema, whoa, as in this is flesh of my flesh and bones of my bones. As in this is my Eve, this is my woman. Unajua ametoka kutoka kwangu. As in it's that guy, and the guy needs to get that revelation. And if you're seeing he's not getting that revelation, I think sometimes you can be so pushy and you can push something that God has not called you to.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
And that's how most people end up in the wrong thing. And I feel, this is my feeling, that sometimes when you initiate things, from the stories I've gotten and from the exposure I've gotten, most of the time when as a lady, if you're the one who initiates things, the way you start will determine how things will continue. So if you're the initiator, trust you me, you're going to become the initiator for a lot of things in your relationship. Are you ready to carry that load? That's the question I'll ask. If you're ready to carry the load, sawa. Yeah. But if you're not ready to carry the load, give the guy space. Go pray about it. Because I'm thinking we're talking on a Christian format. Eno God amsaidie hiyo veil itoke kwa macho zake. Again umesema ni waiting period. You're in the waiting. While you're in the waiting, there are things you need to be doing. You need to be praying. You need to be concentrating on what God has called you to do. And I think that's how sometimes tunakuanga deterred. Najua, now you're not concentrating on what God has called you to do. You're concentrating on this guy, and it deters you from the vision, from the focus, where your eyes are supposed to be focused. So as a lady, angalia wale mademo kwa Bible akina what's her name, the one who was Ruth, she was working in the field as much as, and people use that story of Ruth ati katia nani hapana, alipata hiyo wisdom this guy, but alienda tu akaka Charlie ndio alirecognize, wait a minute,
sasa tuanzie
this is the story,
tuanzie hapo umesema vizuri sana. Na dema kipewa wisdom ya uchali. Mbona asinitiate? Kwani
ndio nasemaje? Ruth alienda kampata kwa threshing floor amelala. Hapo ndo kumwamsha. Alienda tu kalala tu hapo next. So Charlie mwenye aliamka ndio Charlie aliamka. Note, Adam aliamka, Charlie aliamka.
Wewe unamshika hiyo story yako.
Aki for real. Charlie aliamka kama haya. Kuna dema hapa. Akashindwa. Ndikamshika. Hii ndio story. Adu hivi. Chukua hii food, chukua nini? Enda home. Nitasoti story. Kama nitasoti story. Because it could have gone, if he was not willing, it could have gone otherwise.
Ungesha tubaki tu hapo. Umesema point ya maana sana. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. That's scripture.
Yes.
Hiyo na support. Hii story ya kuamka, acha tuongee tu kweli. Ruth aliona Boaz. Kwanza mwenye tu ndo umesema. Akaenda kadozi karibu na yeye. Na hiyo kudozi unafaa kuexplain. Si kudozi antikwa. Hakupata. Hizi ni siku za mwisho. Lazima uwe clear. Siku dozi atikwa ataenda kwa bashi ya karanja, akaenda kadozi. Kudozi pia ni kuna maanisha
there was something happening. Ali it's like
in the
nikakupita mbele yake ndio muone.
Sasa hata unalipomwona sasa. Huyu ni Mugeci. Na kuna Oscar. Oscar by the way is our producer. Kwa tunakamera. Mugeci umeona Oscar? Oscar manze. Kukiangalia tu list yangu hivi. Ile na kiseparate tunaitanga mafataro. Tunaona Oscar. Ametik. Sio? Alafu unaona pia Oscar kuna venye. Ukiamua uende upite mbele venye Ruth alipita. Ama udozi. Kudozi ni quotes, Ni quotes. Si ndio? Why is it wrong in this generation? What really apply kwa Ruth? No, hata mwenyewe umesema Ruth alikuwa wisdom. Mbona sasa kwa dem ni mbaya in this generation? Is it a generational thing?
I think it was a culture thing. Kwa sababu sinaona Naomi alimshow this is what is going to happen tonight. I don't even think Ruth alikuwa anajua kile happen. Okay. So Naomi alimwambia this is what is going to happen tonight. And when these things happen, the harvest, it was like I think a harvest celebration or something. When these things happen, the probability is this guy, I think he was also high, like alikuwa drunk, kalala kwa field. So probably that's what's going to happen. So ukienda enda ulale kwa. Na alimwambia specifically penye talala. Again, nimesema si kudoze, alimwambia kwa miguu zake. So it was symbolic of something, like I am asking you to give me a covering. You get it? I am asking you to give me a covering. So that was the wisdom behind it. It's like I am asking you to give me a covering. So Boaz woke up and he knew what he was being asked. And he was a wise man. Akamwambia shika hii food, shika nini, enda nayo. There is someone who is ako at a better place of giving you a covering than I am at. But I will initiate again. Boaz became the initiator. He went, he found the guy who was the kinsman redeemer to Ruth. Akamwambia, this is what is happening. If you're willing to redeem this piece of land, if you're willing to redeem this lady, if you're willing to take up this responsibility, then I will step back. And he did all this knowing even to him there would be a price. Because for him, if you are a kinsman redeemer, then it would mean that the children that you get belong to the person who died. They're not your kids, as in Najwa. So he was willing to forego that to step in. So this guy was willing, Ephesians 5, not really, give himself for this lady so that she could be able to become all that God has called her to. Tunasema tu kweli, we're just having a talk.
That's scriptural kabisa. So unaweza penda kuambia nini ule dema kwa pale wewe nje manzi amekaa chini anajiangalia anaona manzi huyo Oscar Joe ni kama nitambui yani ni kama mwenye akona hard time when it comes to that aspect of waiting because it can be hard hiyo kukaa tu si chini na goja alafu sasa hizo ndo kwanza opinion mingi zinaingiana paroa kwa hisa nyingine anakuambia kweli kuliendaje yani there are so many things, there are so many voices unaweza pata kuambia nini wewe wait on God. Wait for the right time and don't be in a rush. One of the verses I love is in Hebrews. I'll paraphrase it. It says that Christ is an anchor. And most of the times when we're talking about Christ being an anchor, he's an anchor for our souls. And your soul is the seat of your emotions. So your soul is the seat of your emotions. So soul yako ndio kwenye emotions zako ni kazi kwa zime kwa Kikuyu nasema ukidiria hapo ndio zimekaa unajua. But if Christ is the anchor for your soul, as in he centers you. If there's a storm, unajua kama ile storm yenye ilikuwa Christ alikuwa amelala. Disciples ndio walikuwa hivyo wakisema, "Oi, tutakufa." What? And then sometimes na feel nika tunakonga hiyo place when it comes to relationships. As in everyone is dating and then you know, kwa nini mimi seriously? So as in wait on God, wait on Christ. When the right person comes,
I think your soul will just rest. It will find its rest. And umongia juu ya wase wenye wanashindangwa kwa nini hawakatiwi. Lakini unajua kuna hii side nyingine kuna wengi wanakuwa wakikatiwa but nika azingia nangi alafu najiuliza
kuna time fulani tumekuwa na so hizi unananga za CPR hizi sessions and all that. Then unaambia wase ni aje andikeni tu zile issues mko nazo then kwa paper mzikunje poa then tutawaprayia. Mimi nilipata I think hiyo ni ya dem kabisa nilikuwa nimeandikwa. Alikuwa sema prayer request yake nimeassume because of the content. Uniambie kama niko right. Alisema prayer request yake ni God amuondolee singlehood. Na ampatie chalimboa sababu yeye ana attract madonda na watu wa mjengo. Hivyo ndo alisema. Sasa alisema basi kwanza prayer request kwanza ni gani? Tumtolee God amuondolee. It's like a condition, you know. Amuondolee singlehood. Na tumuombe kuzee ampatie chalimboa maana kuza ana attract madonda na
I'm sure that's a way of escape. No way I'm saying that. So, ando sana kujanga. Unafaa kujiuliza reason ya mbona ando sana kama. Kunikatia. So, hata God akikondolea singlehood, if you get married, kwanza unajua ukivaring kwanza ndio unakuwa more attractive.
Nasikia. Sijafika hapo. Bado nasikia sana.
As in hiyo story ya watu kutaka uondolewe single.
Yeah.
That's just a way of escape. As in it's just a way of escape. So number one, ask yourself, why are these the kind of people who are attracted to you?
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe there's a ministry there, but you need to learn how to work with that ministry. Unajua? Labda wao ndio wase unafaa kuongelesha uambie waokoke. No seriously.
Ina kama hiyo njani?
Saa zingine kama ukiruna na wase na kama
hapo ndio huduma iko.
Hapo ndio huduma iko. Na unasema iondolewe. Alafu una get married, sawa Mungu anakuletea chalimpoa. I don't know what chalimpoa in your case means. Labda inamaanisha msee na kwa bank ama you know.
That's another question.
Yeah, you know what is chalimpoa? Sawa, chalimpoa anakame. You are married. Unaenda ukisema leo uko na ring, unaingia ndani ya mathri unakatiwa na donda. Alafu after that alafu why mbona na hepa? Because again it means there's a fear inside of you, as in let God build that you in your inside person, so that such that if this person akikuja kwako unamwambia ni aje azi stories hapana tuwezi enda hivyo alafu tena kwani donda si mtu watu mjengo si watu Mtu mjengo anaweza kuwa contractor in the near future. Ende shule afanye construction engineer. Akwe mtu. Akwe chalimpoa.
Anyway, it was a concern, but we prayed for it. Tulimwambia kwamba tuna believe in anything, especially in tumefanya ministry for long. We're actually longer than me. Tunajuanga hakuna kitu petty when it comes to prayer requests and all that. So we prayed for her. And tuna believe God atafanya mambo.
And again, as I said, it's an escape. It's because again, singlehood has not been, as in AJ kwa elevated. It's not embraced. You understand? Ni mtu anaweza sema niondolee singlehood. No, ukiget married usema niondolee marriage.
Wazo sasa hiyo place alisema niondolee singlehood. Kwa sababu hiyo ndio tumeandika God niondolee singlehood. I was like, is it a condition ama
ni gonjo?
And coming to social media. Unaona kama social media ndio pia imesaidia kwa remove perspective ama ukiingia kila pale relationship goals.
A lot. As in, like for me nimesimamia weddings. Unajua umesimamia weddings, umeenda weddings za mabeshte, kila kitu umeenda.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, hey, life is gonna be good, things are going to be okay. Then after some years, people come and talk to you and tell you stuff that's happening and you're like, wait a minute, si mko mmepigwa picha juzi kwa nini? Ati kwanza hiyo siku tulikuwa tunapigwa hiyo picha unajua nini alikuwa amenifanyia 1 2 3. Yeah, and I'm not talking about the chick talking about the guy peke yake, but also the guy telling you about even ladies. Hata sisi tunaongea tuna madrama zetu unajua. So as in it's fake. It's what we want people to see. I like when kuna post fulani niliona beshte yangu fulani ameandika ukituingiza kwa relationship yako tuombe family kuja sijui mkaget married nini. Sikuna mtakosana hata sisi tuwekeni hapo because tumekuwa invested. We become very invested in this. We are very invested. We invested by emotions.
Mulianza na sisi. So lazima tumalizie. Most
of the time people don't do that. Utakuonesha tu ile side poa. Unajua. Hata beshte yako akikamkwambia juu ya relay yake. Atakwambia chali yangu nakwamba poa, hiyo nifanyia 1 2 3 4 5 6. Ama lakini rarely utasikia mseme kama kukwambia hizi ndio vitu zina happen. Hivi ndio nini? Until ile siku watu watakosana ndio utakama kuambia by the way this is what was happening. Get? You go into marriages and people are having issues. This around them nakwambia hey, there are these red flags.
Yeah.
You understand? But all the time they were seeing those red flags, they were taking photos and posting them on media. The way they are happy and things are happening, nini. But people never let you see the bad part.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
And there's a wisdom to it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely there's a wisdom to it. But just talking to young people na kuadvise kile unaona kwa social media usichukue like this is for real. Like I remember it's like a year or 2 ago there's this couple that was really trending on social media, and I think a week after nikam kujua I couple in a trend due day, I don't know what, the next thing we had was a breakup. And but ukiangalia photos as in they were all happy. But people don't show the bad times.
Exactly.
It's not just something that they woke up one day and something happened and now
It's something that had already started. Maana sana. Nataka tuongee topic kingine hapo hata sitaongea. Nitaacha tu ongea because you are so passionate about this topic.
Okay.
Topic of purity.
Okay.
Sasa hata ndio like our conversation. That's it to interrupt because I know I've seen you ministering about this topic, the topic of purity.
CPR stands for Creating Positive Relationships.
Yeah.
It's a program. It's run by Tanari Trust.
Okay.
Tanari Trust, it's an organization that reaches out to young people. As in, they just love young people and reaching out to them. So work on different programs.
Yeah.
So CPR mainly talks about relationships. They have other programs that talk about leadership. They have the 30 things you need to know before you're 30, which is for youth. They have a lot of things that they do out there.
Okay.
So CPR is just one of them.
Okay.
So at ropes, rites of passage.
Yeah.
They do ropes.
Okay.
So in CPR we talk about abstinence and choosing abstinence. And one thing we don't do in CPR, we don't talk about secondary virginity, because for us, as in your virginity is gone.
Yeah.
As in even just trying kufikiria ati sijui secondary virginity, most people who they fight with it. Kuna kitu inaitwa cognitive dissonance. As in your mind. Cognitive dissonance.
Dissonance.
Dissonance. DISSONANCE. So it's just basically when your mind and your heart or your spirit is grappling, is fighting with something. So that's cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
So you're not able to shikanishi. But now when you talk about secondary abstinence, as in before I lost my virginity, I was abstaining.
Yeah.
Now it's gone. I've taken up abstinence again. Secondary abstinence. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So you can abstain again.
I've never thought about your. I've never thought about it, but
yeah. So the secondary virginity, secondary abstinence.
But kuna like the virginity of
the heart,
the soul, the heart. So you do the second.
Yeah, but let me tell you another thing why I propose for secondary abstinence. We've talked so much about virginity. It's taken the place of purity, and that's why I love talking about purity.
Yeah.
Because of a boom, you'll have a ratchet virgin. Not really. You'll have a ratchet virgin, you know.
Yeah.
As in, anawachingi porn, you know. Kuna vitu anayatu. Behind the scenes.
Lakini virgin.
Najua porn unataka kunyonga monkey.
Which wish stronger.
But yeah, so you can have a ratchet virgin, you know, and then you can have someone who's taken up secondary virginity, but they are walking in it in purity. Are you understanding me? So at the end of the day, and if you have someone who's a virgin and still walking in purity, oh my, as in like, okay. And you see that was God's intention for us.
Yeah.
You know, that you keep your virginity and you walk in purity. You know, and purity, you know, like the way the Bible says, Christ said, the holiness, whatever I've called you to, the holiness I've called you to is way more than just your actions. It's like it's in your heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the same way. It's something that is in your heart, as in, how can a young man keep his way pure? By walking according to your word. And what does the word of God say? It says that I have made a covenant with my eyes, not to look at a woman lustfully. And you decide, this is going to be my principle.
Yeah.
You know, and I keep telling young people, it is good to walk by principles, not your feelings, not your experiences, not whatever it is that has happened to you. Sawa, those things happened to you. Sawa, they happened. But now it's for you to you reach a certain point and you realize these things happened to me and they have done this to me. But you reach a place and you decide, Sawa, this happened.
Yeah.
But this is the future that God wanted for me.
Exactly.
Exactly. If you look at the future that you have in hindsight of the experiences you've had, then you might not reach that future. But if you say, okay, Sawa, these things happened to me to empower me for what God has for me, then there you start doing something we call, you're creating a future. So you're not having a default future, as in what could have happened. I was born in a single parent family, my dad was never there, now I'm looking for the safety of a man, so I've landed in this person's hands and this have happened, and so you end up in a default future.
Yeah.
But when you're creating your future, you're deciding, Sawa, this happened. I have never seen abstinence being practiced in my family. I have never seen someone get married in my family who has walked in purity. I have decided this is what I am going to do. So you work for it, you fight for it, and it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's a fight.
And that's why I keep telling people, keeping abstinent is not easy. It is a fight. Things will come and bonda you and you utashindwa. Zitakam zikubonde ushindwe jo niaje. But it's a fight.
Yeah.
But the same Bible says the kingdom of God suffers violence, but the violent take it by force. You have to fight, to get that particular thing, to get that future that God has called you to. So whatever it is that has happened in your life, whatever it is that you've encountered, trust you have everything you need to become all that God has called you to be.
Kuna siku fulani tulikuwa tumeenda kupreach hapa KCC. Kwa jamaa aliniambia kati ya Joseph na David. Anataka kuwa David.
Joseph na David.
Sababu Joseph alipata opportunity hapo shasha. Na David alipata opportunity akachukua na bado God anamuita a man after my own heart. Bado wale tunasoma kwa Bible.
Oh my.
Of course that's the logic that it comes. But hawajui the consequences that after what David did. And all that.
And everyone has their own calling.
Yeah.
And you see, when we get to heaven, just because David did what David did and Joseph did not do.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day, you never know if Joseph did what David did.
Exactly.
He might not have become the person God had called him.
Exactly.
But for David, God knows your heart. Na yeye alikuwa tu heart yake ikiwa open to God. So for him there was that grace upon his life.
Yeah.
So don't take advantage of someone else's grace and
exactly.
think, I can do that one.
Alafu kufanya research on the consequences of the actions that David did.
Yes.
That to a point where mpaka kingdom yake
his sons fought. His kingdom was split. He's in the It's crazy.
It's very crazy.
It's crazy. And at the end of the day, you see, was a kingdom split.
Exactly.
And for Joseph, he actually made a home for a nation. At the end of the day, a nation, as in a nation was able to survive because Joseph kept according to God's word. So I think, as you're saying, yes, I think I need to catch in. Asome Bible vizuri.
Kabisa. Pornography. Nilisoma statistics zingine disturbing sana. Mademu wana watch porn sana.
Yeah.
To a point whereby Dr. Mbo tumefocus so much na kusaidia men.
Yeah.
Kwa hii safari. Basi kujua pia mademu namba zao ziko high. I was reading some that I think around 45% of them like to porn kabisa. Yeah. Alafu story ya kupepeta jiko.
And the opposite ya kunyonga mangi.
Is the female version of kunyonga mangi. Masturbation. They go high sana.
Definitely, where you have pornography, then masturbation is there.
Na hapa tukichanga story tunasema tu kweli. Kuna mtu aliniambia naibika kusema. Kuna mtu aliniambia ati ukienda kwa keja kwa nyumba ya dem single usiwahi kula cucumber na carrot.
What? Are you serious? The heck?
On a serious note, aliniambia ukisaviwa cucumber na carrot. Hiyo ni mentality ya world, of course. Mentality ya world. Nikikuja kwako nitakula. Ni msali niambia hivyo. Then baadaye nikaona kamim kaka alitoa kwa meme fulani sasa na mimi kizunguka. So baadaye after siku ajua anamaanisha nini but kukaa kiasi nikafanya 1+1 nikaona si 11 tu. Au hata ilikuwa tu yaki hata sikutaka kufikiria maneno. Pornography and masturbation. Mbona kwa madema highlight sana kama uko na jamaa.
If you were to ask me from my perspective, I think issue of porn, when it comes to guys, it's an issue of, it's an ego. It's an ego thing, I think. But when it comes to ladies, I think it's a self-esteem issue. And when I'm talking about self-esteem, I'm talking about low self-esteem. Because I don't think there's a lady who'd want to be treated the way mademu wanaponga kwa hizo pornographic videos who treatiwa. As in, because for a guy, I think sex comes from the mind, and that's why for you guys it's like easy. You can light switch on and off. For us, it's a heart thing, so you have to like really drive the emotions, and that's why I'm saying it's a self-esteem issue, because your emotions need, as in like they're really low, you know, for you to look at pornography and think this is a good thing, you know, this is the way I'd want to be treated, this is the way I view my, as in, you know, you have to view yourself in that particular video. Sindio?
Yeah.
So this is the way I view myself.
Yeah.
And I think also the way in society ladies like juicy on Facebook. I saw someone had posted in Likevin Kasema. Oh my God. Like, Lord help us. So someone had posted that a guy may post video ya a lady teaching other ladies how to please their man kwa Facebook. Alafu ameandika hapo hivyo, you can send payments to my pesa number as in you thank me later. Like, what the heck are we thanking you for? As in, like, what the heck are we thanking you for?
Alikuwa demonstrate.
So the lady was demonstrating it. I think I'll comment a video from somewhere. So this guy has put it on their Facebook wall. Okay. So when you look kwa homepage, and then you're like scrolling through stuff and videos and stuff, and then this thing just comes in. What am I watching here? You know, like, what am I watching here? And you see, as a lady, you've been told this is the way to please your man. This is what you should know how to do. This is the you know, like lazima ujue kupika chapo, lazima ujue kufanya hivi. Let's equate it to that. Yeah. And I think out of that curiosity, you find ladies going in to watch porn. And when you go to watch porn, then it's like inculcated inside you. To have good sex, you need to act like a porn star. You know, and I think that's why even in our society, you might talk to quite a number of ladies and they'll tell you they don't even enjoy sex.
I had a pastor actually saying, and it was so unfortunate.
Yeah.
She was saying that a good wife has to be a good cook and a good homemaker. No, hata ukiwa Christian, but a porn star in bed. Like kwa bed hakuna kuhubiria bwana yako, hakuna nini hapo, you're allowed to be a porn star. I preach hivyo na akasema hivyo. I've never forgotten. I had that sermon in 2016. I've never forgotten.
Okay.
And then afterwards, vijana.
Yeah. And you see, those are the things, those expectations. As in, this is what is expected of me. This is what I should know. This is one thing. I have friends who are not born again, and they've been in that casino. Yeah. And I love what one of my friends is a guy. He told me he's been married. He got divorced, and he told me, Mugeci, okay, for him, this was his opinion. And he said, Mugeci, two things that are overrated: marriage and sex. And for him, he's been in those places where he's been married, he was cheated on. Out of being cheated on, you know, he was hurt. He also went out of his marriage, you know, and he was also cheating. And he told me the thing about cheating with men is the you're feeling I'm doing something that's dangerous. Neza shikwa najua like an adventure, the thrill, exactly. That's the word alitumia. It's the thrill of it. But venye alikuwa anajaribu sasa ako out of the marriage na anadate, the thrill wasn't there. Okay, now everyone knows I'm doing this. You get? So the thrill wasn't there. So the thrill in cheat, I mean the thing that is highlighted in cheating that makes it like enjoyable is the thrill. And I get. And he was telling me it's just sex is enjoyable if you love someone. It's not about the activity. It's about you're in love with this person. And from that discussion, okay, yeah, there's a purity that we've removed from sex by just making it about the actions. Like, you have to be a prostitute. So what about being a prostitute? What should I do? Then unapata your curiosity na lead to watching a porn video. And you see, when you watch porn, you'll watch 1, and then you watch 2, you watch 3, then the next thing you know, you're hooked, najua. And then pornography goes with masturbation. You've already aroused. No, do not awaken love unless it's so vicious. You've already aroused it. Now stopping again is a problem. And I think for me, part of my journey, and that's why I tell people, live an open life, live an accountable life. It's just living that open life and that accountable life that has really helped me to get to the place I've gotten. Because now I'll have those candid conversations with guys, and they'll tell me, but it's not all that and a bag of chips. Si ati ni kitu, unajua. And unauliza, okay, so what is it about? And it's the love being poured out into a cup, and we fill our cup. But that love, if you're watching pornography and you're bringing in masturbation and all that stuff, what else apart from the purity of that love are you bringing into your relationship? That's another question you need to ask yourself. And you see, vile tumeongea tu leo, singlehood is not highlighted. The purity of that love making is again not highlighted, as in it's been made to look like it's just a need I need to satisfy. Nika ninasikia njaa, wacha nikule. But even now, ndio tuna realize na corona, you need to eat good food,
Exactly.
You need to eat good food. You need to watch out for your body. Otherwise, you'll not be able to fight this disease.
Exactly.
In the same way, you need to, that's why I talk about purity. You need to eat good things into your heart and into your mind, so that by the time you're getting into marriage, you're able to fight the good fight of faith in this ministry called marriage, so that you're able to achieve whatever God has put for you. So I think pornography comes and just steals that away from us. And then another thing that I've realized in my CPR journey, nimetoka kuongea juu ya sex na kuambia young people who are abstain. I've come to the realization that, do you know, even science is now backing us up and saying pornography is wrong. As in, science, you see, like the last phase when you're having sex. So there's is it serotonin that's released? There's a chemical that's released that's supposed to bring about the rest and relaxation. But when you're doing pornography and masturbation, it brings in fight or flight hormone. Cortisol, I think so, yes. So it brings that hormone, and that's why after you've engaged, you feel guilty. So that guilt is that hormone that tells you, oh, you're supposed to get away from this. And if science is backing us up, nika venye zamani watu wanasema that the earth is flat, but the Bible was saying the earth is round. At the end of the day, again, back to God's word. Back to God's word. Live by God's principles, and you will have a full life. But again, it says in the last days there'll be people who have itchy ears, so they'll pick whatever they want to hear and do whatever it is that they want to do. So that's why I'll say singleness is not easy. It is hard. It is very, very hard, and it is a calling. It is a calling for not for the faint at heart.
Kuna post niliandika last year kwa Facebook page, and you replied, and I think we need to finish up the conversation.
We talk a lot. Oh my God.
We talk a lot. Nilikuwa nimeandika a concern that I had, and I still have, about the way the message of purity is taken to the singles out there. And I wrote that as the church, we cannot rely on the forums that we normally have as singles and all that, like let's say for example the themes are sexual and all that, because we do them at, I think in a month, tunafanya in a month, and then tunakuwa na forum kamoja ka sex the whole year.
Yeah.
But ukienda kuangalia campaign ya safe sex, campaign iko throughout the year, kwa media, kwa concerts, everywhere they go. Ukienda kwa sayo, ukienda to any public place, lazima kuna sticker ya safe sex. So we have the message, but mbona hatupelekei symptoms according to you? Unaona mbona kwenye kwa nyangana nakosea, because we cannot rely on one event to change a culture.
Yeah. I think it's also because, you know, when you start talking about safe sex, and let's talk about, when talking about sex in general, as in, it's a topic, you just have to research and get to know stuff. So the question is, are we as the church ready to have these conversations? Because you find, like, so zingine mwananga into some forums, knowing what I know, and I feel like, wow, I sort of like, mimi ni mrache, tuta tumtoke hapa you know, because in teaching and talking to these young people about sex, I've come to, and a lot of stuff just opens up and it overflows, and this as there's an outflow of knowledge, and these guys have knowledge, and the thing with knowledge, when you have it, you want to understand it and you want to apply it. So the knowledge for these young people is out there, and they have it and they want to apply it, you know, and so that they can understand it better. And when they come to you and you do not have a knowledge of it, and you're not even willing to understand, so that you can help them, they block. So if we are not ready to get on that platform and get to know about sex and what happens, I don't think we'll be able to reach out to these young people. And the thing is, we are not ready, and I think that's why we shy away. And because we shy away, then the safe sex gospel will beat us. It will keep beating us.
To make your church here.
Yeah, it will keep beating us. So sasa, like me, I can sit down with a kiddo and have a conversation and tell them, okay, so you're using condoms. Do you know condoms are only effective 80% of the time? So that means in a number of 100 to kick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you could be an 80 statistic, one of the 80s, or you could be one of the 20s. So when you're having sex, my question with you is, if you're using a condom, are you ready to be counted as one of the 20? Because if you're ready to be counted as one of the 20, then take the risk. Nugget. And wanataka kuona venye utareact. Unajua, again, that's another thing we are taught in CPR when we were being a trainer, as in, be ready to hear anything and everything, and don't show you're shocked. Because again, when you show you're shocked, toys will lock. What a lock. So what on you get. So in getting to be able to reach out to these young people and tell you the truth, you get exposed, and sometimes that exposure just, it breaks you down. It will break you down. You will have had instances where you feel defeated, you know, like juicy. Now unajua mimi nikamkujua jua story ya kunyonga monkey, as in kunyonga monkey like 2 weeks ago. And ile mseme kama kwamba ati umechekisho ya so and so. I'm like, okay, okay. Sawa. So you're like, kwani show imedu, hebu cheki. You know. And there it is on your face, and you know, and you're like, this has become so easily available. You know, the way you thought FB is safe, you know, like, unasikika hiyo story nimekwambia, you know, like they'll flag such stuff so they then come to your homepage. You think IG is safe, you know, you think Twitter is safe. There's no safety anymore. And if you are not ready to have these conversations, then these things will continue happening.
Exactly.
You know, as in, I'm sorry, like it's zingine mshindangwa kusema hizi vitu because I'm just so passionate because guys are hurting. As in, guys are hurting out there. Guys don't know. Have sex. You end up in marriage. Memories are going to sumbua you. You know, if you're trying to minister and you're doing things behind the scenes, you're watching pornography and masturbation, this thing will nyonga your ministry. And let's be ready to learn what is happening out there. Otherwise, we become ineffective. We become ineffective in speaking about these things. And sometimes we might say, okay, I don't need to know these things so that I can go out there. Alafu.
We live in denial.
Yeah.
Because ni kama kitambo, nakumbuka kama mkiishi mtaa moja kuna ule mama alikuwa shinana akisema mtoto wake ni kuharibiwa na haribiwa. Na yeye ndo alikuwa kwanza
mtoto wako ndo anaharibiwa.
Exactly. So I think we live in denial because we don't want to accept that these things are happening.
Yeah.
And then hatuko pia up to par with the level of technology that we have. We don't know what is happening on Instagram because most of us are not on Instagram.
And TikTok? Look at the other day, I nearly wrote a post on Facebook. I was like, TikTok is a thirst trap. I'm sorry, but it is. That's Mugeci saying, but it's a thirst trap. Because you open your TikTok, because that's your placement for you. What are you following? When you're following, you choose whatever it is that you want on that side. Because for you, everyone is gyrating, like basically. And they're called content creators. Content creators. What? It's just someone talking. And you go to the next video and it's talking. And I'm like, what the heck is happening here? You know, as in, like, but how many of us guys who are ministering are actually on the TikTok platform to know what is happening with these young people? Napo tu ndio wako. Hapo tu ndio wako. As in utawapata wote hapo. Watu wa ghetto, watu wa the other side of Uhuru Highway, watu wote wako hapo. And they're just there. Talking. And I'm like, because I'm a damn you're so beautiful.
You know that tunacheka because it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
Tunacheka because ni happy, it's sad.